Hi everyone, I'm Julie Coughlin with the Hawaii IR-4 program. For the past 60 years, IR-4 has been helping specialty crop farmers with their pest control needs. IR-4 has the unique ability to partner with government, industry, and the growers to develop the required data to support the registration of pesticide products. We have a 4-person team pictured here. There's Dr. Chung, our PI, James Kam, Dr. Zening Zhang, and myself. I want to start with a brief explanation of the pesticide registration timeline because I know many of you are frustrated by how long it takes to get a product approved. So let's look at the steps. It starts with defining the pest problem, then identifying a product to control the pest. The crop pesticide requests are then submitted to IR-4, and then they're reviewed by the registrant. So the registrant is basically the manufacturer, that's Syngenta, Corteva, Bayer, BASF. So in order to move forward, the registrant has to support adding the crop to their label. If they don't support it, it stops right there. EPA also reviews the request at this point to see if there are any regulatory concerns because we want to make sure that there's a clear path to registration. Then the project requests are prioritized at an annual workshop, and once the priority is selected and funded, the next step is field and lab research to determine pesticide residue levels. After all the field and lab work is completed, the data is submitted to IR-4 headquarters where it's summarized into a report called a petition. And the process up to this point takes about 2.5 years. This petition is submitted to EPA, and after review, a tolerance is established for that active ingredient on that crop. Once the tolerance is established, the registrant can then add the crop to the product label. A typical timeline for this process from start to finish is about 5 years. 2.5 years generating the data and 2.5 years for EPA review. We don't always meet this timeline due to delays any step along the way, but at IR-4 try to adhere to the 2.5 year timeline for our portion. Let's look at our coffee leaf rust fungicide projects. We have 6 highly effective fungicides in the IR-4 registration process. All of these products provided excellent coffee leaf rust control in our field trials. Lisa Keith, Tracy Matsumoto, and their team at USDA PBARC also tested these products in the lab and in field trials, and they observed similar results. This is what we expected because these products already had known efficacy in other coffee growing regions internationally. One exception is the Excalia product. This is a newer chemistry, and IR-4 and the registrant recommended including this product in our efficacy testing. It performed really well, so we're moving on to registration for this product. At the top of the list here is Preaxor-Xemium. Preaxor is registered and available for use. The registration was approved in October of last year and is no longer under the emergency exemption restrictions. The registration moved quickly because extensive international residue and efficacy data existed with the active ingredients in Preaxor. The U.S. tolerances were established through a proposal to EPA that was prepared by IR-4. The approval of this proposal to use international data allowed IR-4 to submit the petitions for permanent tolerances more quickly because no additional field trials were needed. So we essentially eliminated the 2.5 years off the timeline. I've heard questions about why the Preaxor label only allows for 2 applications per year and why there is a 45-day pre-harvest interval. This is the use pattern that is supported by BASF, and the residue data used for the tolerances matches this use pattern. So if we wanted to change the label and add additional applications and or shorten the time period between the last application and harvest, then we would need to conduct additional field residue trials and lab studies, and it would have to go through a full EPA review. And this makes sense because if you want to add applications or apply the product closer to harvest, there's a chance that there could be increased residues on the crop, and that would have to be fully reviewed before it was approved by EPA. Okay, next products, Alto and Abound. The petitions for registration have been prepared by IR-4, and we are just awaiting submission to EPA. Currently, we're waiting for the registrant to provide the required submission documents, and we do have a tentative submission date to EPA of March 2024. For Approach Prima, all of the field trials have been completed and the residue samples are in the laboratory for analysis. Aprivia Top and Excalia field trials were completed this year. We're just wrapping them up, and the samples will be shipped to the laboratory soon for analysis. Other projects in the IR-4 registration pipeline include 2 insecticides for CBB control, Avant and Brigade. These are both at EPA in the EPA review portion of the timeline. Sivanto Prime, we expect registration coming soon, and this is an excellent product for green scale control, and it will also potentially control coffee leaf miner if when that is introduced into Hawaii. Luna Privilege will be labeled on coffee for nematode control. And we're also working on 3 herbicides, Amine 400, Liberty 280, and Loyant. So Amine 400 is broad spectrum weed control, and it's especially active against the vines, Monaloa and Morning Glory vines that are kind of difficult to control. This project is, the final report is in preparation at IR-4. Liberty 280 is a non-restricted use paraquat replacement. Basically works the same way. It's a broad spectrum, quick burn down product. All of the samples are in the lab right now, so we're in the lab analysis phase. Loyant is exempt from tolerance, so we're just conducting efficacy and crop safety trials that the registrant is requiring, and once we complete those and turn in the report, they'll make a decision on whether to add coffee to the label. This product has excellent applicators and environmental safety. And my last slide, I just wanted to show you a listing of some of the pesticide products that were successfully registered on coffee through the IR-4 program. These products are currently available for use by Hawaii coffee growers. So we have 3 insecticides for sucking insects, green scale, mealybugs, aphids. We have Exeril and pyrethrins plus PBO for CBB. Delegate also for CBB, and also the potential to control coffee leaf miner if and when we get that. And there's Altacor that controls coffee leaf miner. We have 4 herbicides registered, Fusilade for grassy weeds, Allion and Goal are pre-emergence herbicides, and Gramoxone is the paraquat product, broad spectrum, quick burn down herbicide that is restricted use. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening, and please check out our websites listed above if you'd like to learn more about the IR-4 project. Please feel free to contact me with questions anytime. My email address is up there as well. Thank you.